it's going to be a thing. So I apologize for whatever math happens here. Let's see. So first things first, Control T, auto format. Chris.
I love my own formatting. That's all.
Okay. Anyway, so we have roamers, roameri. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, so apparently we have an object in here called a roamer, right? And then we're making an array of roamers called roameri. That is, how many things are in that array? 3. Cool.
To start with, pluralize roamer, though.
I don't think so either. Okay, and then we have some global floats, which are super helpfully named. Thanks, Chris. The only one that's even close to helpful is theta, because that suggests it might be an angle. But I would like to point out that spelling out a letter's name does not particularly make it a better variable choice. Yeah, right? D is not a better variable name.
So RGB is color.
Okay, so RGB is color, and D is
the distance between like your mouse and the center of the screen.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, so then in here I have a setup method that said, oh God. Nice try, Chris.
Yeah.
So I turned full screen off. I'm going to turn smooth off.
Smooth on by default.
No, not all.
I don't know. We could look in the API. I'm not sure whether smooth is on by default.
Well, you're set a proper screen size.
Ellipse mode. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to set a proper screen size. Thank you.
So the radius of the big circle is 500.
Why though?
You can change it. It's fine.
You hard coded it in.
I might.
Oh no.
Yeah, he hard-coded it in a bunch of places too, I think. Okay, so at any rate, we have an ellipse mode that's radius, okay, and then what's this business doing?
That's the structure.
Initializing the.
Yeah, that's looping through the object constructor several times and filling our array up, right? Really, sorry, it's looping through the array and using the object constructor to fill each slot in the array with a new roamer. Okay, and then in the draw method, we have a white background. Cool. We have a distance from the center of the screen to the mouse X, mouse Y. Some kind of...
That if thing is the angle that hurts with the color.
Okay, so some kind of angle color nonsense.
Oh no.
And it works.
And then we have a big circle and a little circle.
Absolutely.
Okay. And a no stroke applied. Wait, when does the... Oh, I see. Okay, so this is the cheater way to make the circle disappear on the outside? Okay. And then we set stroke to 0 wide.
It unerases it, so it stops the cheaty way from being applied all the time.
Okay, whatever. And then we have move roamers and display roamers.
Which don't exist.
And that's what I'm having.
Oh, okay. So in order to move and display the roamers, we're having issues. And then we have a draw a circle, which takes a whole bunch of junk. You guys see this?
Oh, that's really good variable names.
Yeah, these are much better than the earlier variable names. So this takes a float red, a float green, a float blue, a float dx, dy, and dr, and then makes... Yeah, just makes an ellipse of that color in that spot, right? Yeah, so that's a nice method, actually. And then we have a roamer class that has a whole bunch of stuff. But mostly it sounds like we're having trouble getting this to run.
Yeah, I also didn't know what to put in the constructor.
Okay, so the reason that this isn't running right now is that this is trying to run the move method on an array object.
Oh,
you guys see that? So I need to run that on one of the roamers. So one of the roamers is in roameri slot 0. See that? So that's gonna move the 0 slot roamer. If I want to move the other one or display it, I want to do roamer I 0 dot display.
So gonna do I and then I in the bracket.
Yeah, and then here this would only move and display the first roamer. So let me see if that works. Ellipse mode radius. Syntax error missing a that was me. Whoops, my bad.
Oh no. Oh god.
I don't know what it's supposed to do, but there's that little moving dot that I think is the roamer.
They're not supposed to go through the circle.
Just a lever.
Is that the roamer?
I guess so. It rolled a really small radius.
Oh, does it roll a random radius?
Yeah, from 4 to 40.
Okay, so the roamer rolls a random radius in a random direction and then leaves.
Same though.
Okay, so it's supposed to bounce off the circle?
Yeah.
Alright, so let me show you how to get all 3 of them to draw at least. So to get all 3 of them to draw it, you need to loop through the array. So you already looped through it once up here constructing it, right? So just take your constructor part, copy it, paste it down here, and then really what you want to do is take the move and display and put them in there instead of the builder.
Wait, does that avoid drop?
Yeah, this is in the draw method. So draw method goes to way down here. So this is in the draw method. We're going to loop through each roamer and move them and then display them.
Oh dear.
Dear God.
Something funky happened. Why aren't they moving? Oh.
What?
And they're not bouncing.
Oh no, they're moving.
They're not bouncing, but they are moving. But they only move once I bring my mouse into the middle.
What? What have you done?
Huh.
It's the same line, so it doesn't have a time.
Well, why is it doing that?
Chris is beautiful.
Okay, so apparently the move method... Did I screw that up?
Wait, what?
Oh, it only moves if your mouse is
Screwed it up because it's no longer full screen. So
Why
instead
are
of calculating the distance to
Why did they go in sometimes and out others?
Because he's doing crimes with math.
angles.
Oh, it's the angle you bring your mouse into the circle that determines
Oh my
which direction they move.
It shouldn't do that, right?
But it is.
Okay, so hang on. It's a feature, not a bug. It's a feature. Okay, so hang on. So why does it seem like they're only moving when I'm inside the circle?
Well, something to
Hey, why is
the
blue?
so
It's green, purple, or
Okay, so I'm gonna go I'm looking for 2 things right now. I'm looking for where am I calling the move method? Is that inside an if statement? And the easy way to check that, right, is to go look at your if statements. That one, it's not in that one. It doesn't seem to be in an if statement. Otherwise, it would have kicked it in another level when I auto-formatted, right? So maybe it's in the move method. Oh, there it is.
yeah.
So it is in the move method itself, right? That it.
Oh.
What are
Equal.
these? Are terrible,
Oh my
Chris.
god. Oh my god. Wait, also I like how it's not checking.
Oh, okay. So one thing you can do as far as variable naming goes is a roamer should have a radius,
Yeah, use words like
An-
a person.
x, a y, an
Sexy.
x speed, and a y speed.
So Joe, the if statement in the class needs to be bi, not just capital B. I forgot to change it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what it's supposed to be.
So, and then it also has this, and that should be, these all need to be.
Sorry.
Let's see. So they're SXI. That needs to be X speed.
X
Okay, did I get them all? Okay, and S Y I. Oh God, I screwed up, didn't I? Okay, cool. Well, let's go fix this first.
It's a feature. It's a feature.
Okay, how many E's did I have in that before? Okay. All right. And then these guys need to be X and Y's. Okay. Cool. And then you think this needs to be
DI or whatever.
okay. So
Because that's a different distance
Oh,
than the one that controls
rover
the one.
distance.
yeah, I think that needs to be a roamer distance or something.
And if you had named it rover distance, you'd probably noticed.
Hopefully. Let's see. Okay, and then these need to be X, Y, and radius. Now there's one further thing here that I don't particularly like that isn't really wrong. That's all this business. You guys see this is all variable declaration and initialization, right? You guys see that? Really, these should just be declaring, and then the initializing should be done in the constructor. Yeah, and processing doesn't care that much, which is nice. Yeah, Java
yelled at me.
Yeah, Java probably cares.
I think it sometimes cares in the other direction too. It's like they should be declared and initialized at the same time.
Yeah, so depending on the language, and depending on who you're working for, sometimes the variable initializing and variable declaration go in 2 stages or 1 stage or maybe different spots. In processing, I think the right way to do it is this one. And that usually keeps issues from cropping up. So I'm just going to declare all the properties of a roamer, right? So a roamer has all these properties, and then when I build a roamer, I'm going to roll all those properties out. So let's see if this works now. Okay, well, now they move. They still tend to leave. Okay, so if roamer distance is bigger than 500...
Oh, wait, what was the radius of your new...
Oh, but that's the distance from width over 2... Okay, so if the roamers get further than 500 away from the middle of the screen...
The 500 was the original radius of the biggest circle. Did you change that?
I don't think I changed that. Where's the big circle?
The full screen.
Yeah, no, but the big circle was hard coded.
The big circle has a hard-coded radius of 500, so I didn't change it. So I think that's radius because he set ellipse mode to radius at the beginning. But that's a really good question, right?
I originally did not.
So let me. Yeah, so I kind of want it to print out one of their speeds or something. You see that? So, so every time it loops through moving, it's gonna flip the sign on the speed. In both directions. Why is that not behaving more unpredictably?
Oh,
So
it's not checking the roamer distance. It's setting that with initialized things. It's leaving that there.
So basically, I'm worried about the roamer distance, right? So let me just print it out and see what's up.
Yeah, the roamer distance isn't being updated. It's just being initialized. That's it. It's constantly the roamer distance is always the distance from the start when it spawns.
Oh, good catch. No, those are updated here.
Yeah, but it's not recalculating the roamer distance.
Oh, you guys see that? It's calculating the roamer distance in here at the beginning in the constructor, and that's a property that a roamer has, right?
Yes.
And then it's never updated. That's just like, it's got a distance.
If it spawned away from the start.
But it can't because I hard-coded X and Y. Roamer distance is hard-coded to 0, basically.
Yes.
So I just want to take that update line,
So if 0 is ever more than 500, it'll work.
right, and run it in here. Yeah, if 0 ever got to more than 500, it would work. And I think now they probably will bounce. Cool. And they're not going to bounce off of each other, right? Why aren't they going to bounce off of each other?
Cow.
That was my next step.
Because I never taught them to bounce off of each other, basically. Yeah, I saw a collide back there.
Oh, that would have been implied.
Okay, so that's actually really cool, Chris. Nice work.
But then they also don't bounce off the mouse. Sorry.
Yeah, they don't bounce off of each other, and they don't bounce off of the mouse. Getting objects to bounce off of each other is a little bit harder. Is what?
It's always understanding the variables.
I just put it in the same last time.
So the circle is a little funky too. You guys see this funny business that's going on with the color? Why is it changing color?
Magic. No, because it's based on which quadrant it's in.
Yeah, it's not quite random. If I go look at so there's a fill, right? That's red, green, and blue to draw a circle, right? So where am I drawing the circle around the mouse? That's right here. You guys see that? If the distance is smaller than 500, we're drawing a circle, right?
So what I understand is that random on a computer is already fake random, and now Chris just made a fake random.
No, Chris made something that is not obvious, but is also not random. There's a really solid pattern here. It has to do with the angle.
Oh.
Right, so
Oh, that's awful.
he's saying, okay, so if it's not dead center in the middle of the screen, which is going to make me divide by 0, then we're going to calculate an arc tangent of some stuff, and we're going to get an angle theta, and then we're going to use that angle theta to calculate a red, green, blue value. So what that means is if I run this, if I go straight out from the center, it doesn't change color because the, you guys see that? Why did it change color on the other side?
Because it was in the split.
Because I went past the center, right? But if the angle stays the same, the color will stay the same. If I change the angle, the color will change.
I tried to make it the color wheel ran out of time. Crazy fast.
Yeah, getting color wheels to work is kind of crazy math. It's possible, but it's a little bit bonkers. Cool. Question, Steels?
Draw a color wheel image, have it get the color, then have it draw the back over the color.
Yes. Yeah, you could do that. It is probably easier to figure out how to do the math to get a color wheel in there than it is to pick a color out of an image.
But it would be hilarious.
It would be fairly hilarious. Cool. So if I want lots of little bouncy balls?
Hang on.
Roll up. And
Yeah, and actually this was really nice, Chris. This is totally changeable right here.
Just make it 300.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Now we're done.
oh no.
Oh, God.
Oh, that is super seizure inducing.
Really?
Also, what my brain
Oh,
was
I
like.
forgot I put everything to random. My bad.
And they all bounce off the edges. This is fun.
It's kind of It's a poor print line, you know.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's gonna start ranking soon.
They made them bounce.
I don't think it'll start breaking.
Well, no, the print lines
All you
start
have to do is
breaking.
just make them
It
bounce
forgets
off
to
each
put
other.
new
The
line.
perspective keeps changing because they all
I
keep
don't-
changing colors.
Think it will.
Oh, I've had that happen.
That's usually because things are so. If your print line starts skipping the carriage return at the end, usually what's happening there is you're trying to print more and more stuff at the same time. This is printing the same amount of stuff every frame.
So what do you see in this ink blot?
Yeah.
Rorschach test.
Okay. Cool. Good.
Circles.
More circles.
You could no stroke the outside circle so that way it's just the tiny circles.
Yeah, you could certainly do lots of fun things with this program. Actually, this program could probably be made into a really horrible game in a hurry. So,